Hello, language learners. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we have another exciting language journey ahead. We're going to explore some fantastic idioms, words, and expressions from the Power English radio show. So, if you're ready to power up your language skills, let's dive right in. Our first expression is, the promise of something. This phrase signifies an indication of future success or improvement, or a reason to expect that something will happen in the future. For example, a young artist who shows a lot of promise suggests that this artist has significant talent and is likely to produce remarkable work in the future. Similarly, when we say, her early novels were full of promise, we mean they had the potential for future success. Next up, we have, pop up. This term means to appear or suddenly come into view or existence, often unexpectedly or without prior notice. For instance, a new coffee shop just popped up on the corner of the street. Here, popped up suggests that a coffee shop appeared unexpectedly or was established recently without prior announcement. Or, when an advertisement for the new smartphone kept popping up while I was browsing the internet, it means the ad appeared frequently without warning. Now, let's talk about, not come cheap. This expression is used to indicate that something is expensive or comes at a significant cost, suggesting that it requires a substantial financial investment. For example, traveling to exotic destinations doesn't come cheap, but the experiences are often worth the expense. This means that such travel is costly but offers valuable experiences. Similarly, renovating your house and using high-quality materials doesn't come cheap, but it can significantly increase your home's value, underscores that quality renovations require a substantial financial commitment. Our next phrase is, be willing to. It is used to express a state of readiness or preparedness to engage in a specific activity or behavior, indicating a person's willingness to do so. For instance, he was willing to travel a long distance to attend the conference because it was important to his career. Was willing to shows his preparedness to travel a significant distance for professional reasons. And, to learn a new language, you need to be willing to make mistakes and practice consistently, emphasizes the importance of being open to learning and improving. Lastly, let's explore, proactive. This adjective describes a person or action that takes initiative and anticipates steps to control or influence a situation, rather than merely reacting to it. For example, she is a proactive student who not only completes her assignments, but also seeks additional learning opportunities. This highlights a student who actively seeks extra learning opportunities. In a different context, the city is taking a proactive approach to fighting crime by hiring more police officers means they are taking anticipatory measures to control crime before it becomes a more significant issue. And that wraps up our exploration of idioms, words, and expressions from the Power English radio show. I hope you found these language insights valuable and that you're ready to use them in your everyday conversations. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, keep powering up your language skills. See you in the next video.
I'm Cameron Word.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
We're always so happy to have you. So, there's a word that is being talked about a lot, longevity, living a long life, and, there are documentaries about the blue zones, certain countries or areas where people live a very long life.
Yes.
How do you feel about, living a long life? Like, not in pain, but, fairly intact.
Well, if I'm healthy, And I have money.
And you have money. Very important.
I would like to live a long time, sure.
Yeah.
But if I'm not healthy
Yeah.
or I don't have money,
Yeah.
why? I mean, it just seems like
So true.
more years of stress.
I know.
What about you? I mean, you are really big into like health and wellness.
Yeah.
Do you want to live longer?
Well, I agree with you 100%. If you have money and if you're healthy, why not?
Yeah.
And I feel like as you get older, I mean, yeah, like it's good to have like wisdom and all that, but you also need money.
It's so true.
More so when you're younger than when you're younger.
Right.
I've noticed, I really have come to realize.
Right. So it's not just about living long, but having a good quality of life.
Right.
When you're living long.
That's right. Okay. Now, the reason why we're talking about longevity and talking about living a long life, the article that we're going to be talking about today, the title is, How Much Would You Pay to Live Longer? So, if you could live longer, how much would you pay? Well, it depends.
I would not pay.
You would not pay.
I would need a coupon.
I need a discount.
I need a discount.
Cameron needs a discount. Okay. Here are the expressions that we're going to cover. The promise of something.
The promise of something is the possibility that something will happen.
Okay. If something pops up.
Something appears suddenly.
Okay. And if something doesn't come cheap.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
It costs some money.
Yeah, it's another way of actually saying it's expensive. Let's go ahead and listen to our article. Would you be willing to pay up to $100,000 a year for the promise of a longer life? Around the world, longevity clinics are popping up and offering middle-aged and even younger people treatments that may help them live to 100 and beyond. The personalized treatments and services, like frequent blood tests and body scans, home visits, and the latest skin treatments believed to reverse aging, don't come cheap. However, not everything these clinics provide has been proven to be effective. Still, an awareness that one is aging and a desire to do something proactive about it could make as big a difference as the treatments themselves. All right, let's begin. Would you be willing to pay up to $100,000 a year for the promise of a longer life? Okay, so here it starts with a question. Be willing to is our pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this to be willing to?
To be willing to means to have the will to do, to want to do, or be open to the possibility of doing something.
Yeah. You know, that expression, to be willing to do something, is often used amongst native speakers. So, yeah, I'm willing to pitch in.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
I'm open to the idea.
Yeah. It's not necessarily that you want to.
Right.
Please, I really want to do this.
No.
Please.
No.
But it's like, if that's the case. Okay, sure.
Why not? Yes.
That's the feeling of be willing to.
All right, good. So would you be willing to pay up to $100,000 a year for the promise of a longer life? So the promise of is actually an expression.
Yes, the promise of something is the possibility of something happening in the future. And the reason we're using promise here, it's because it's as if someone is making a promise to you in this, like a doctor telling you, I promise we will give you the best care.
Yeah.
And you will definitely live to be 200 years old.
Right.
So that's the promise. So another way you could use this phrase is many students go to university for the promise of a better job. It's not necessarily going to happen that you get a better job.
Right.
because you graduated from university.
Yeah, no guarantee.
But it's a good possibility.
Yes.
And it's what people are hoping for. It's what people are expecting.
Right. So it's not like, because we think of promise as like 약속. Like it is absolute. Like I will keep my promise.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's more of like the possibility of a longer life. All right. Around the world, longevity clinics are popping up and offering middle-aged and even younger people treatments that may help them live to 100 and beyond. So we talked about the word longevity, which means to live a long life, right? Longevity clinics.
Yeah.
There's like little clinics, treatment centers. And they're popping up.
Yes.
What are they doing?
So to pop up means to appear suddenly, often without planning.
Yeah.
But I think many Korean people know the word pop-up store, which is a store that just pops up,
and then
it appears, and it's there for a day maybe,
right?
Maybe a week or 2 weeks, and then it closes.
Right.
So the popping up doesn't have to do anything with the closing. It's only the opening part. But the reason we say a pop-up store is because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. And usually when you look at a pop-up store, it's like a tent or like a small kiosk or something.
Right.
It's not a permanent store.
That's right. So it's kind of like, bloop, 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 bloop. Like it's just like here, there, everywhere. You know, they're just popping up.
Yes.
Yeah? And they're offering these treatments so that you can live to 100 and beyond.
That's right.
Let's continue.
The personalized treatments and services like frequent blood tests and body scans, home visits, and the latest skin treatments believed to reverse aging don't come cheap.
Okay, these clinics offer many services. Blood tests, body scans, home visits, skin treatments. And they're supposed to make you feel and look younger, but they don't come cheap.
Yes.
Now, we know what the word cheap means, right? But why is it used in the negative?
So this is a very common expression to mean it's going to take a lot of money. Don't expect like a value. Don't expect like a cheap service here.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay a lot of money.
Okay, so my question to you, Cameron, is how come we don't say, oh, these services are really expensive? Why do we say they don't come cheap?
I think that saying it in the negative makes it sound even more expensive.
That's right. It's strange, isn't it? But that's how the English language works.
Right. When you say it in the opposite way, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is not cheap.
Or if you say, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
It's actually really saying it's really bad.
It's really, really bad.
So I want our listeners to know that when you see something, an obvious word, like a very easy word used in the negative, it's to emphasize the opposite.
Yes.
Okay, however, not everything these clinics provide has been proven to be effective. Still, an awareness that one is aging and a desire to do something proactive about it could make as big a difference as the treatments themselves.
Yes.
Okay. So basically what this is saying is that we don't know if this is really working or not.
Right.
Okay? But just awareness, like knowing that, you know, one is getting old and you want to stay young.
Yes.
And be proactive.
Yes.
That's one word. What does this mean?
So to be proactive means to do something before it's a problem, being almost kind of aggressive in trying to solve a solution.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting to get old to start worrying about anti-aging and sickness and all of that, before you're old, you're already thinking about, oh, how can we say, age gracefully?
Yeah.
You know, to kind of limit the amount of damage that my body takes.
Right. So if you're being proactive, you're doing it before you get too old, right? You're just actively pursuing. All right, let's go ahead and listen to that one more time. Would you be willing to pay up to $100,000 a year for the promise of a longer life?
Around the world, longevity clinics are popping up and offering middle-aged and even younger people treatments that may help them live to 100 and beyond. The personalized treatments and services, like frequent blood tests and body scans, home visits, and the latest skin treatments believed to reverse aging, don't come cheap. However, not everything these clinics provide has been proven to be effective. Still, an awareness that one is aging and a desire to do something proactive about it could make as big a difference as the treatments themselves.
Okay, let's do a quick review. The promise of something means there's a possibility. Here is an offer.
Yes.
That is difficult to get, but I think we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is Danny so upset?
He lost all his money in the promise of instant riches.
Isn't that why a lot of people do sort of those high-risk stocks?
Yeah, stocks or
lottery,
even coin investments.
Yeah,
that type
right.
of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cryptocurrency.
That's right. In the promise of instant riches.
Yes.
The promise of pirate gold has led many people to become treasure hunters.
So this promise you can see is no one's actually making a promise with them. It's a hope that they have.
Yeah.
Someone has told them a story.
Right.
You will be so rich if you do this.
There's like all this gold down at the bottom of the ocean or on this island.
I have this map.
Yeah.
Where the treasure is hidden.
Right.
And so people go out with the promise of becoming rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here, the promise of riches or the promise of gold.
Yeah.
What other promises could there be?
I've heard like the promise of Olympic glory.
Ooh.
The promise of doing well at the Olympics, right? And so people train very hard.
Yeah. So as you can see, I feel like this expression is a little bit poetic.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Or like they say, people go to America for the promise of a new life.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. You see, so it's very kind of grandiose, grand, and it's full of opportunity.
Right.
Yes.
And it's not like you will 100% get it. As you can see in both of these cases, it's a very small possibility.
That's right. But they still hope.
Yes.
Pop-up means to suddenly appear. Did you see the new vegan restaurant?
Yeah, they seem to be popping up on every street.
Okay. When you say that the restaurant or something is popping up everywhere, there is a feeling that they're just like, whoop, here, and another, and another, and another, like real quick.
Yeah, really quick.
And a lot.
Yes.
Yes. An ad popped up on the webpage.
Yeah, you have the pop-ups.
That's right.
The pop-up ads. Boop, boop. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can block that if you want. All right. What other things can pop up?
A zit can pop up. On your skin.
Yeah.
A pimple or zit can pop up all of a sudden.
That is so true. Or, an old friend could pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, pop
and
up
visit
out of
you.
nowhere.
Yeah, visit you at the office. Right?
There
a person
was no
can
plan.
pop up.
Just,
no plan.
What? Those types of things.
Okay.
Anything, because we deal a lot with technology, anything that appears on your screen very quickly, maybe it's a message. You go, a message popped up.
Bling. Yeah.
Those types of things.
I was also thinking, too, one last example is that an idea can pop up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone has an idea all of a sudden.
Right. It's like, bing.
Yeah.
It's that like light bulb moment. Okay. Don't come cheap, which is actually saying it's very expensive. It costs a lot of money. Okay. Look at that woman's outfit, hair, and bag. She must be rich.
Style like that doesn't come cheap.
You can tell.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
You can look at two very similar bags or coats.
But you can tell.
You can tell the difference.
Tell.
I don't even know what it is.
I know, but you can
tell. But you can just see.
Yeah.
That cost money.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't come cheap. Installing a swimming pool and upgrading the landscaping didn't come cheap. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Making
swimming pools are expensive.
And expensive to maintain, too. Landscaping also. Yeah, it doesn't come cheap. What other things don't come cheap?
Well, in Korea, education doesn't come cheap. Every time I hear statistics about how much money parents pay for their children to go to school, I am shocked.
You know, I don't understand the idea of public schools.
I mean, I don't know.
Because most of the parents and students go to hagwon. And that is like, you know, such an expense, especially if they go to high school. I'm like, this is not a public school. It's like a private school, basically.
Right.
You
well,
know?
I mean, I have worked in hagwons.
Yes.
I do work in English education. So I know how much people are paying. And education does not come cheap in Korea.
Does not come cheap. But we need to change that. Okay. Power pattern. Be willing to do something means that, okay, you're open to the idea. Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Would you be willing to participate in a medical experiment?
No.
I knew you would say that.
I'd be willing to watch your cat while you're away if you want me to.
Okay. I'll do it. I'm open to the idea if you want.
If you ask me, yeah.
Right. So there is that kind of very lightness. Like, yeah, I'm willing to.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you willing to, the medical experiment? I don't think so.
It depends on how much money.
Well, on how much money, or like if you have a disease and it's a new treatment, maybe.
Right.
Okay. All right. Power vocab is proactive.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like before you have a problem or before something is noticeable, you do something beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have like a puppy and you're trying to potty train him, get him ready for, use the bathroom outside.
Yeah.
Being proactive would be not waiting until the puppy needs to use the bathroom.
Yes.
But always taking the puppy out.
Okay.
Before he does something bad.
So you're one step ahead.
Yes.
All right. Let's thank our sponsor.
한국토익위원회에서 취업과 승진을 위한 토익 스피킹 응시권